Hey everybody, good morning. It's Jamie, the crafty DIY guy. I am here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I don't have my tripod with me, so I'm trying to hold the camera steady as possible. Today's videos are glam inspired, and all of these were filmed before I went on vacation, but I didn't do the intro videos because I thought it would be kind of cool to have this as my background. So hopefully you will enjoy these. If you're familiar with a YouTuber by the name of Jazz, she has a channel called DIY Home and Crafts, and I absolutely love it. One of these projects is definitely inspired by something that she did, so be sure to check out her channel. I will link it for all of you guys below. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go enjoy some beach time. But before I do that, I do wanna say thank you to all of my subscribers, all of my friends, all of my long-termers. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And also, if you are one of my newbies or just checking out the channel for the first time, welcome. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll stick around. All right, bye guys. All right, everyone, for our first project, we are going to grab one of these Dollar Tree over the door hangers and also a glass bowl or a fish bowl of your choice. Go ahead and clip off the two ends of the two hooks here and then start bending this. I ended up bending this actually around my thigh to give it a fairly decent round shape. And then I actually went ahead and clipped off the two end sections, leaving me with just four legs like you see here. And then I just kind of played around with it and shaped it around until it was about a circle. It's not going to be perfect, but it was pretty close. I gave everything 2 coats of my Rust-Oleum gold spray paint and then took it back inside and put that fishbowl on it. I didn't really like the way the fishbowl looked on it, so I ended up going with a little bit heavier weight bowl that I really liked actually with this. I filled it up with some of the twig pieces from Dollar Tree and some succulents, and I know what you're thinking. It's not totally glam, right? But it is kind of cute. After that, I did decide to use it in my bathroom in a more glamorous way and filled it with a floating candle from Dollar Tree. I dimmed the lights and I took a long, hot bath. How cool is this? And for my next project, we are going to be using some Dollar Tree bamboo skewers. We're also going to be using a plate from a company called Eco Buddies. This is a wood plate. It is a disposable wood plate that is actually disposable. We're going to use 2 of our Jenga wood blocks, and we're also going to grab a Dollar Tree mirror. First, I went ahead and cut down my sticks. I cut them to about 7 inches, and then I reserved the smaller pieces that were left over. We're going to be using all of the sticks. I cut a bunch of them, as you can see. And then I just started gluing the 2 blocks down in the center of that Eco Buddies plate to begin with, and then literally just started gluing down the longer sticks first. We're going to wait and do the mirror afterwards. So what I'm doing here, what I'm going to be doing here is adding some hot glue and literally just starting kind of at your clock points, your 12 o'clock, your 3 o'clock, your 6 o'clock, your 9 o'clock, and then working my way all the way around the clock or the mirror base and literally just filling in all of those larger sticks as well as I can. They're a little they're moving around a little bit on me there. And then once that glue started to dry, then it became easier to kind of fill in the rest of the sticks like so. And then literally I just kept working my way all the way around until all of those sticks I had cut were used and filled in between with the smaller sticks, giving me something that looks like this. Pretty cool looking sunburst, right? I then took it outside and gave it 2 coats of my antique gold Rust-Oleum spray paint, making sure to cover both sides. I love working with these Eco Buddies plates because they are wood, so they take the paint perfectly. After everything dried, it was time to go ahead and glue that mirror down. I ended up not liking the way that the smaller mirror looked, so I went with one of these larger mirrors that I also grabbed from Dollar Tree. I simply just added some hot glue to the raised kind of blocks there in the center, and then on the outer edges where the kind of the outer edges of the plate are, and just glued everything down and let it dry really good, and then hung it on the wall. This is how beautiful it looks. I absolutely love this mirror, and it is the perfect addition to my mirror collection you see here. For my next DIY, we're going to use some Rust-Oleum's metallic gold spray paint, also one of these cardboard boxes from Dollar Tree's Crafter Square, and some diamond wrap in gold also from Dollar Tree. I also used some cotton twine and some of these gold beads. First, we took our tray or our box outside and I spray painted it gold. After everything dried, I flipped it over and spray painted the inside as well. Then it was time to go ahead and string some beads on that cotton twine. I created a loop, kind of like you see here, that would serve as a handle for our box. I just popped a hole in the top of that cardboard box with a screwdriver and then just simply fed that through and tied it off at the bottom. Then it was time to go ahead and put my bling wrap on, or my diamond wrap. You can see where I drew a line with a pencil around the top. That is the line of where I need to leave space to allow that lid to fit back on here. Diamond wrap is pretty easy to work with, and what's great about it is it does give you a very nice edge and kind of a straight line to be able to cut right along. It's adhesive already on the back, so it's very easy to just stick this to practically anything. It doesn't need any additional hot glue, at least in my experience with it, my limited experience with it. And as you can see, it's going on very easily around the base of that cardboard box, pretty easily. And pretty soon, we won't even call it a cardboard box anymore. It'll be our bling box. And for this small section that doesn't go all the way around, you can just simply add more bling and just fill in that space. Now that our bling box is complete and shiny and blingy, you can see that the lid's going to fit perfectly on this. It's super cute, but I am going to show you what we did with this after the next DIY. So for that DIY, grab 2 automobile funnels. Yes, that's true. In the automotive section at Dollar Tree, and then also 2 of these plastic ramekin dishes. They come in a package of 6, I believe, and I just grabbed 2 of them. If you wanted to use something a little heavier, you could use this glass ramekin. You'll see that the plastic ones work just fine. I also had these thin wood slices that I picked up on Amazon that I'm going to use for the base. First, you're going to go ahead and saw off the tops of your automobile funnel. I did these purposely at 2 different levels. After you've done that, you'll have 2 pieces that kind of look like this. What's great about this is if you do it straight, you don't have to worry about sanding these down. But if you don't, or if you didn't cut it off straight, then just simply take some sandpaper or your mouse sander like I did and just flatten that out. Now for this little piece here, I am going to go ahead and trim this off as well on both of these, just so it gives it a more finished look. You can do this with a pair of scissors. The plastic cuts actually really, really easily. Also for the bases, I went ahead and just added some hot glue and then glued that wood circle that you saw earlier directly to the bottom of this. It was actually a perfect fit. And after that dried, it was time to go ahead and put the ramekins on top of each one of my funnels. So I'm adding a little bit of hot glue here. Well, it's kind of a lot of hot glue. And I'm just going to stick the ramekin right on top, kind of like so. And then once that's good and dry, I'm just going to repeat it with the second ramekin. I then took this outside and gave it 3 very light coats of spray paint. I did this so the metallic spray paint wouldn't run. And then after everything was dry, I took it inside and created the most elegant table setting ever. I love this on my coffee table. It goes perfectly with that little bling box that you saw earlier. I love these. And by the way, the Dollar Tree floating candles fit perfectly inside those little plastic ramekins at the top of this. How cute and gorgeous is this entire setting on the coffee table?